November 17th, 2021, a day that shook Memphis and the hip-hop world forever. Young Dolph, a beloved rapper and community leader, was gunned down in broad daylight in his hometown.
Visit West Cancer Center, the clinic today, just to show my appreciation for over the years. I had several family members to come through here and been patients of this clinic, so I just really wanted to show up and show them my support, show them my how thankful I am just for them being them. And they all came through these doors, and I just wanted to show up and just really thank them for what they do, because it ain't an easy job. It's kind of hard. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Like, they fired 2 workers from a coffee shop for bumping my shit in the snow. Hell no. I brought them out here, flew them out here with me, man. Okay. This is the kind of shit I do. For a fact that VP at that school, he get money, but he ain't get money like Dolph. So look, check this out. Until y'all get y'all a new job, till y'all find y'all a new job, I got $20,000 for y'all right now.
What's going on? Exactly. That's her new name.
Lamborghini Jack.
Hey, look.
They call me Jack.
Hey, look, let me introduce somebody to the whole world. You know what I'm saying? They call her Lamborghini Jack now. You know what I'm saying? She got look what's in her driveway.
Hey.
You know what I mean? Now come back. You know what I'm saying?
That's how we doing it. Too hard.
Yeah, that's how we doing it, man. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
For real, for sure. I love y'all. I see y'all later.
We love you. Keep doing what you.
Came for turkeys and were greeted by Memphis music celebrity Young Dolph and a sense of community. The people I spoke to, said that this is exactly what the season is all about. And rapper Young Dolph, who grew up in the neighborhood, helped make it all happen. He flew in for the event he's helped champion for 5 years.
Ain't nothing like family, you know what I'm saying? When you come to Memphis, you get the family vibe. It ain't no friends, all of my partners, my friends, just from my neighborhood, even my family members, blood family members, everybody here, just support. And like I said, it's really just about capturing this positive vibes around the holidays.
Tonight, we strongly encourage everyone to stay home if you do not have to be out.
The Memphis police chief is asking everyone to stay home tonight after rapper Young Dolph is down and at a South Memphis cookie shop.
There will be extra police presence in many parts of the city that might have a connection to the popular rapper to make sure there is no more violence.
That was my man. Why y'all go take him with me? An 11-year-old fan and aspiring rapper heartbroken over Young Dolph's death. Malik Woodoff says his son was going to be in a video with Dolph.
It's a sad thing, man. It's a hard pill to swallow.
Lots of fans flooded airways trying to get close to the crime scene. The crowd and cars at times too much for police.
New details this morning in the murder of rapper Young Dolph. The second suspect is now in custody after a nationwide manhunt. Memphis authorities say Justin Johnson was arrested Tuesday afternoon in Indiana. The 23-year-old has now been indicted on first-degree murder charges. Last month, police arrested and charged another man in connection with Dolph's murder.
Smith. Ms. Smith, good morning. Sir, Ms. Johnson, in that indictment 2103333, you are indicted for the similar conduct, rather. Let me rephrase that.
Hell yeah, straight drop got his ass beat up in jail. On some mob shit by my little.
Born Adolph Thornton Jr., Young Dolph defied the odds to become one of the best out of the city. His music told stories of struggle, resilience, and success. Young Dolph started music in 2008 with his Paper Route campaign mixtape. He then released the Weed album, the South Memphis Kingpin album, which brought him to 2012, which he dropped his first successful series of mixtapes dubbed the High Class Street Music. In interviews, he acknowledged that he didn't immediately leave the streets when he started rapping because he was building his career and trying to get financial stability. His independent grind and business mindset eventually allowed him to transition fully to music and entrepreneurship. He eventually distanced himself from the street life and found success in the music industry. While outside the industry, it was rumored that Young Dolph had the streets on lock with his work, so much that he was giving the local street hustlers opportunities to get paid. Still, that same that used to front your big brother found out he a bitch too, now I'ma call him your big sister. This is lyrics from Play With Your Bitch that Young Dolph released. This guy that Young Dolph was talking about is one of the biggest diss tracks in the past decade, and he was talking about Big Jook, the bigger brother to Yo Gotti. Jook, the older brother of Young Gotti, the second in command for CMG's label, is known to be more in the streets than the industry out of the pair. I know what you're thinking. Yo Gotti has been in the music industry since 1996, and all of his family and friends should be paid and out of the streets, but that wasn't the case. People in the city of Memphis say that Yo Gotti and his big brother Big Jook didn't get along around the time he had street dealings with Young Dolph. Allegedly, Gotti was getting money in the industry, and he left his bigger brother to fend for himself. Dating back to 1994, one of Big Jook's first arrests, he was sentenced to 1 day in jail for gambling and evading an arrest. In 1998, Big Jook was sentenced to 8 years in Tennessee State Prison for resisting officials and the possession of controlled substances. After being released early, Jook did an additional 3 years in prison for being arrested for selling weed while on probation. Jook was lastly arrested in 2011, in which the case was dismissed for no probable cause. Jook, Yo Gotti's brother, in and out of prison, finally squared up and started to work with his brother Yo Gotti in 2012. This is when he allegedly started to work with Young Dolph in the streets. Throughout Young Dolph's career, he stayed independent, keeping true to his commitment to do everything on his own. Young Dolph made a lot of friends and foes in the industry. Young Dolph had close ties to Gucci Mane on his come up in the music industry. According to Dolph, he would travel all the way to Atlanta from Memphis just to get features and hang out with Gucci Mane in the studio. Some say this would be a waste of time and money, but Dolph was soaking up the game from Gucci Mane, who ran 1017's record label. He also had a close relationship with the College Park Atlanta rapper 2 Chainz. First, Young Dolph had a relationship with Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti was eager to sign Young Dolph. According to Dolph, he said that Gotti just didn't move right as a CEO in his personal opinion. The relationship turned sour publicly when Young Dolph released that single, Play With Your Bitch, which is currently at 12 million views on YouTube. Some speculate that Dolph's independence rubbed rappers the wrong way because he was keeping all of his money instead of splitting it with the label or the CEO of the label, who was also an artist. During the music video for Play With Your Bitch, Dolph called out CMG using doubles for Yo Gotti and his big brother Jook. Later, Dolph was shot during a North Carolina college weekend in which his bulletproof SUV was shot at 100 times. Dolph wasn't touched at all and performed the same night after the attempt.
Close to CIAA festivities. Tonight, we're hearing from those who escaped the crossfire. It happened while thousands of people were in uptown Charlotte for CIAA events and parties. WCCB Charlotte's Marvin Beach is live at CMBD headquarters in Uptown with the latest on the investigation. Marvin?
Courtney, police have not named any suspects in this case so far. Now, crime scene investigators were back on the scene today. That's where several people told us how close it came and how lucky they were not to get hit.
Scary, just really scary.
Caught in the line of fire, this woman says she was driving her 92-year-old grandmother home when she saw flying off the pavement.
All of a sudden, she's ducking, and I'm thinking, oh, God, when so I just quickly threw the car in reverse and backed up and then flew down that street right there to avoid getting hit.
She later discovered this hole and other damage to her car. Police say more than 100 shots were fired just after 6:30 Saturday night here near the 600 block of North Caldwell. On one side of the street, an apartment complex, windows riddled with. On the other, vendors set up for people enjoying the CIAA festivities.
It's crazy when you think about it because I was extremely surprised that no one got shot during it all.
This woman was working in a food truck with her brother when the fire began.
He was like, get down, and then the minute we got down, it hit behind us, where we had just been standing at.
That bullet don't have nobody's name on it. I mean, you know, we got kids and
and families around here.
John Clifton operated a party tent just down from where the shooting happened. He's disappointed things like this take away from the more positive aspects of CIAA weekend.
Even with the incidents around here, nothing affected us. And I think what it was that maybe, it came from the street or whatever.
Marvin, there's reports this shooting could stem from a feud between
A little bit over 6 months, this time he was shot 3 times, one in the arm, torso, and buttocks in Los Angeles. Dolph was in the hospital for at least 2 weeks after surgery. It was rumored that a CMG affiliate was detained, but later released due to the lack of evidence. Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop, or in the Memphis streets as Tez Money, sources close to Straight Drop said he wasn't a bad kid in Memphis, and they wonder what actually changed this young man to turn so violent. Straight Drop made the news for the first time in Memphis in 2017. This was for shooting up a bowling alley after being disrespected. Sources say Straight Drop left the bowling alley after an altercation, only to return with the assault to shoot in the crowd. He hit several people and his reputation grew.
Tonight, we're learning Johnson was also responsible for another crime that also shocked innocent bystanders back in 2017. Records show at the time an 18-year-old Johnson got into a fight at Billy Hardwick's All-Star Lanes in East Memphis.
We heard ambulances, we heard police, we heard just the police cars screaming.
Police say he went to his car, got an assault rifle, and shot into the crowd, injuring multiple people. A few months later, court records show Johnson pleaded guilty to several charges of aggravated assault. A year later, officers say he drove a car into a gated apartment complex and refused to leave. Police say they found a loaded gun and marijuana in the car. Records indicate those charges were dropped. In 2019, he was committed to federal prison, then released May 25, 2021.
In Straight Drop's eyes, he was the next thing out of Memphis, or basically trying to get close to Young Dolph's success. He was trying to put himself in position to be next up. Even to one point, he was in Young Dolph's entourage as a member. This photo is from March of 2018. 2 months after this photo, Straight Drop was sentenced to 3 years in federal prison for weapons and drug charges. Straight Drop was in prison from 2018 until May of 2021. This is 6 months before he would take Young Dolph's life. Prosecutors alleged almost immediately after Straight Drop was released, he released a handful of music videos to jumpstart his career in the music. His manager, Hernandez Govan, in Orange Mound, part of Memphis, about 5 minutes away from Young Dolph's Castelia neighborhood. Both Govan and Straight Drop were looking to get signed by Yo Gotti and CMG. This is when the plan came into play. According to investigators, Big Jook, who was the second in command for signing artists, in which he discovered Glorilla, Moneybagg Yo, and Big Boogie. He offered a deal to Govan and Straight Drop that they couldn't resist. They say Big Jook offered a $100,000 payout and a huge possibility for Straight Drop to get signed by CMG. Knowing Straight Drop's background and as a person who wasn't afraid to shoot, it seemed like a slam dunk for the pair. But allegedly, Jook wanted to make sure that the plan went right and Dolph was gone, especially after those 2 failed attempts. This is when Cornelius Smith, also known as Cornbread, came into play. According to court documents, Smith was purchasing pills from Govan when he caught wind of Big Jook's bounty and wanted some of the action. The deal was the $100,000 would be split into 4 ways: $40,000 for each shooter and $20,000 to Govan for putting everything together. The plan was in motion.
Yeah, around here, man. Yeah, man. This table, you see this table. Yeah. I thought the bro said something. Big Jook said something. We still spending money, man. Hey, man. Bag, you what up, man. I told them we ain't have money problem. We got our hoes Lamborghini truck. In the recession, man. Recession. We just doing no shows. We saying something. We still spending money. Spending this money in this pandemic, man. Hey, man. No shows. We ain't booked no shows, bro. We still spending this shit, man. Recession proof, man. I remember you used to have this. Yeah. Now the streets got it. Hey. Still putting this shit. I remember y'all used to put, when y'all used to get them back in, y'all used to be like this on the ground. I ain't seen y'all broke ass in a long time.
Young Dolph was known to give back to his community, especially on Thanksgiving. Every Thanksgiving, Dolph would come back to Memphis and give back to that same neighborhood that supported him before anyone knew who Young Dolph was. He would set up locations throughout the city of Memphis and give away turkeys to the underprivileged.
With people who are fans of Young Dolph the rapper right there in a circle of fans. You mentioned earlier about the turkey giveaway. If these frozen turkeys could fly, they definitely did. Take a look over here. You have all of these empty boxes. A little more than 200 frozen turkeys were handed out to kids and families in need. It was organized chaos. Families had to pre-register.
Young Dolph's last supper was at the Roof Chris Steakhouse with his brother Marcus Thornton. The hours of operation for the restaurant says it closes at 9 a.m. According to a witness who was there, Dolph was at the location around the time it was about to close, around that 9 o'clock time. Hours later that same night, Straight Drop went to a gas station around 3 a.m. in the morning to pick up that getaway vehicle, a white two-door Mercedes-Benz. According to the reports, it was normal for criminals to switch out stolen cars before going to do a crime. Straight Drop then returned to his residence wearing the same clothes that he will eventually go hunting for Young Dolph with. The next morning, Young Dolph is up and at it. According to his artist Snoop Bands, he says that Young Dolph called him several times around 9 o'clock in the morning, but he didn't get to answer the phone because he was getting his hair cut. At 11:51 a.m., Straight Drop leaves his residence with his daughter to drop her off and go pick up the shooter Cornelius Smith. He picked up Cornelius Smith at his father's location on Wild Rose Street. The shooter see Dolph in his camouflage C8 Corvette with his brother, who acts as his security. The blood brother of Young Dolph, Marcus Thornton, has been known to be with Dolph a lot, especially in Memphis.
I want my $1,000. This nigga, this gonna bet me talking about I ain't got a QP in my car waiting on me when I get to the airport. Give me my $1,000. Yeah. There go the weed. That's the security. Give me my motherfucking stack. Hey, man. No. Hey, look, come on down. Give me my stack. There go the security. Don't make me bust that box open. Hey, man, go and bust it open. It's really more than a QP. Go and bust it open. Come on, give me that stack.
They follow Dolph as he makes a left onto the Makita's parking lot. The Benz makes a U-turn into Makita's as Young Dolph's back is towards the window. As Dolph is shot, he instantly falls to the floor and out the window. Young Dolph's brother returns fire, hitting both Straight Drop and Cornelius Smith, but only grazes the pair as they flee the scene in the white Benz. Dolph's brother enters back into the cookie shop to see his brother hanging out of the window. According to the witnesses, the brother Marcus tries to pull Young Dolph out of the window, in which he tried to move his body. Minutes later, police arrived and shut down the crime scene. Marcus was placed in handcuffs and sent to the police station. After 5 minutes of Young Dolph dying, the crowd surrounded the scene and started to give statements on what they saw. In the meantime, the two shooters FaceTimed Big Jook to explain that they had just took Dolph out using sign language on the FaceTime video. A pair of shooters then fled to Haven Court Apartments around 1 p.m. to change clothes and go their separate ways. Off the jump, Cornelius Smith was identified because he left fingerprints on the stolen Benz. The stolen Benz was discovered at an abandoned property in Orange Mound, 5 minutes away from the crime scene. Fingerprints from Cornelius Smith and others were found in the car. Justin Johnson's fingerprints were not present in the car. For Justin Johnson, he was investigated after multiple surveillance videos were released showing him leave from his concourse apartments where he lived, actually wearing the same clothing the suspects were wearing at the crime scene. He also had that same white Benz on surveillance at the resident's apartment parking garage. Social media posts from Straight Drop helped authorities track him in Indiana at a gas station. 55 days after Dolph was killed, Straight Drop and Cornelius Smith were in handcuffs.
New details this morning in the murder of rapper Young Dolph. The second suspect is now in custody after a nationwide manhunt. Memphis authorities say Justin Johnson was arrested Tuesday afternoon in Indiana. The 23-year-old has now been indicted on first-degree murder charges. Last month, police arrested and charged another man in connection with Dolph's murder.
While in jail, Straight Drop was beaten up by Snoop Band's affiliates because they knew he was one of the hitters.
Snoop Bands talks about Straight in jail.
Hell yeah, Straight Drop got his ass beat up in jail. On some mob shit by my little nigga, Pretty Gang. Yeah, they beat up. Yup. Yup. By my little nigga. You talking about mob shit. He catch him again, gonna beat him up again.
Rumors started to swirl after the suspects were caught. Some close to the situation say that Dolph was taken out by his own friends, while others say Dolph was set up. But the truth came to full, and they said that Young Dolph had a $100,000 hit on his head by Big Jook.
We knew that, you know, they had a hit on Dolph and them head or whatever, so...
Who had a hit on whose head?
Big Jook had a hit on Dolph's head or whatnot, so...
How do you know that Big Jook had a hit on Dolph's head?
Cause Quick had told me about it, Quick, and, you know what I'm saying, being just...
How much money was it supposed to be?
$100,000 on Dolph's head.
And had you agreed to do this hit?
Yes, sir.
Big Jook was taken out January 15th of 2023 while attending a funeral for a family member.
Hickory Hill with connections to Memphis rapper Yo Gotti. Fox 13's Lakia Scott joins us live tonight from St. Francis Hospital. That's where the victims were taken. Lakia, what were you able to find out? Good evening to you.
Good evening, Daniel. Well, at least 5 police sources have confirmed with Fox 13 that the person is Anthony Mnths, also known as Big Jook. Now, Big Jook is the brother of rapper Yo Gotti. Now, we were at that scene earlier tonight. Police say 2 men were shot outside Perion's restaurant and event center around 4:15. Now that's on Winchester near Kirby. According to the Memphis Police Department, the victim was inside a vehicle at the time and was brought here to St. Francis Hospital where he was pronounced. Now I'm also learning there was a second person who was shot and was also taken to the hospital. It has not been confirmed who the second person is, but we do know it is a man, and he was airlifted to Regional 1 in critical condition. Now the Memphis Police Department spoke with us today in a press conference. Let's listen.
Right now we do have video that we're analyzing, but we don't have a clear suspect identified at this time. But we know that a weapon was used, a firearm was used in this incident. We do feel like the individual that was shot was possibly targeted by the suspect.
Can you tell us whether one of the victims is Yo Gotti's brother?
I can't confirm anything yet.
Almost immediately, it was revealed, but this hit was strictly because of Young Dolph losing his life initially. To confirm, PRE artist Jay Fizzle, who was Young Dolph's blood cousin, released a single called Free Straight Drop. Lyrics in the song say, "Hey, tell that big head ass nigga Gotti he a bitch, and your brother too, he don't get away, what you talking about? Toting 5.56 with 100 green tips in the clip, I'm trying to put a whole 50 in Jook." After Jook was gone, the case folded like a lawn chair. The main hitter, Cornelius Smith, was a key witness in Straight Drop's trial. On the first day, he admitted to everything. He admitted how Big Jook put the money up to take Young Dolph or any PRE artist for a certain amount of money and how Big Jook and Hernandez Govan hired him in straight drop. The main reason Cornelius Smith became a witness was because he never got the share of his $40,000. According to him, he only received $800, in which he took as disrespect, and in result, he took down the entire plot.
You were describing staying in touch with Justin, is that right?
Yeah.
To your knowledge, was he still in town or out of town?
My knowledge, he was here.
And you had mentioned the money, is that correct?
Yeah.
And he had told you that Jook said it was too hot right now.
Yeah, it was too hot right now.
But were you still interested in your money?
Yeah, I just wanted my money. I did the job, I just wanted my money.
Now, could you have gone to Jook and tried to get your money?
Nah.
Did you know him at all?
I had met with him, but you know, I ain't have no number on him.
How many times had you met with Jook?
Just one time at Quit House.
At Quet's house?
Yeah, Quit House.
And when did that happen? Before or after Dolph was?
It was before.
When that happened, was there conversation about these hits on the PRE rappers?
Yeah, really quick with doing all the talking, like, you know, just telling who out here to pray, how much everybody had on their head and stuff like that. And Jook was just like agreeing, like, you know what I'm saying? He made her take our phone outside first before he started doing any talking.
Who all was there for this meeting at Quet's house?
It was just me, Quit, and Jook.
You, Quet, and Jook.
He really wanted to meet. I had pulled up about some X pills, and Jook was already in there.
Gotcha.
And Quit had started talking, you know what I'm saying, like, you see right here, and Jook like, hold up, the phone's outside. So he set our phone outside.
And came back in?
Yeah, nah, Quit took the phones outside in the church. Me and Jook was already in the house, but Quit came back in and started talking.
At that time when you met with Jook, is that the first time that anybody's talked about money on Dolph's head?
Now, the first time, it was just Quit by himself.
So this had come up before with Quet,
yeah,
and then comes up again with Quet and with Jook there.
Right.
When did you, in that timeline, so first just Quet, next Quet and Jook.
Right.
When did you met Justin in that timeline?
Oh, it was like right around the same time, you know what I'm saying?
As the first time when it was just Quet, or the second time when it was Quet and Jook?
Like, in between the first and the second time, I had, like, Quit had put me and Justin together, basically. Okay. That's how I met him, Quit.
Jook's the money man calling the shots.
Yeah.
Quet puts you and Justin together.
Right.
And you and Justin are cool with each other. Yeah. And interact with each other over the months. You said at least 5 times.
Yeah, it was something.
You're trying to, now we're back after the murder, you're trying to get your money.
Right.
You're having conversations with Justin, is that correct?
Yeah, I was teasing the phone like, you know what I'm saying? I need their money for the party, you know what I'm saying?
Are there times that you're trying to communicate with Justin and in fact you're communicating with somebody else?
I ain't know it, you know what I'm saying? At the time I ain't know.
Okay. Did you come to find out that Jamarcus Johnson had Justin's phone after the murder?
Yeah, I found that out. I got locked up.
When you were communicating with Justin, okay, these times when Jamarcus had his phone and doing 3-way stuff or whatever, what was the substance of those conversations?
Well, first time I was on the way back from Atlanta, and he said he had got a little package from his homeboy so we could have some money in our pocket or whatever. And I was coming back from Atlanta, so I like, I like 2 hours out. So I like, man, I don't want him to just put it in the mailbox. But he said he had a letter with it too. And I know it'd be too many folks in my dad's neighborhood still here to be seeing what put in the mailbox and double back. So I told him to give it to the lady in the door who like a grandma figure to me or whatever. And he gave her $500 in a letter.
$500 in a letter.
Yeah.
And obviously you're supposed to get $40,000.
Right.
But you got $500 in a letter.
You saying right here, yeah.
And what was the substance of the letter?
Saying that Jook said that if we get caught up, he gonna make sure we had the best lawyers and all that old stuff is hot right now.
And this,
we knew they were doing the turkey drive, so we was actually on our way to Westwood.
had you and Justin talked about this particular day before?
Like, nah, not the specific day. Like, we just knew that it was turkey drive going every day that week.
Okay. You knew that, the fair said you knew Dolph was involved in these turkey drives this week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we didn't know we were going to catch him, but we knew he did his artist. You know, everybody had a hit on the hit. Everybody had a price on the hits.
From Jook?
Yeah, from Jook.
And that was going to be y'all's business this week?
Yeah, that was our business week.
When he arrived at the house, do you remember what he was driving?
White Mercedes-Benz.
Okay, had you seen that car before?
Nah, I ain't never saw that car.
Did you get in the car with him?
Yeah, I got in.
Was there anybody else in the car?
Nah, it was just me and Justin.
Were there any in the car?
Yeah, they was on the back seat in the bag.
Do you remember what kind of they were?
A Draco, hand.
Okay. And Draco, Mnths, some type of bigger semi-automatic weapon, is that right?
Yeah.
Do you remember what you were wearing that day?
I had on some gray sweatpants, orange and white Jordan 1, and a blue Gap hoodie.
A blue Gap hoodie?
With a do-rag on.
With a do-rag on. Now, when Justin left, did he tell you where he was going?
Nah, he ain't tell me exactly where you going, but he supposed to got up with Jook and got back up with me.
Do you know whether or not he actually did get up with Jook?
Nah, I don't know.
When Justin left in the expedition, where were the
They was in the truck with me.
in the truck? In the expedition?
Yeah.
Do you know what happened with those? Have you ever seen them again at all?
I ain't even see Justin no more.
Did Justin ever tell you what he did?
Nah.
Did Quet ever tell you what happened with?
Not only did Cornelius Smith spill the beans, Straight Drop's brother straight told on him. Jamarcus Johnson, a half-brother of Johnston Johnson, testified. Jamarcus detailed how Justin involved him in the aftermath of the shooting. Requesting his help with a rental car, Jamarcus stated that Justin also gave him a phone and instructed him to manage his social media and email communications. At the time, Jamarcus claimed that he was unaware of the full scope of Justin's actions or that he intended to flee the city. Jamarcus' testimony was a pivotal moment in the trial, adding to the complex web of events and relationships being presented in court.
Okay.
Jamarcus Johnson.
And can you spell the first and last name for the record?
J-E-R-M-A-R-C-U-S.
And then Johnson.
J-O-H-N-S-O-N.
We just have to do that for the court reporter. It's a legal thing. Now, Mr. Johnson, you are actually charged in this case. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You are charged with taking possession of some of your brother's property after the Dolph and for aiding him to communicate with another man by the name of Cornelius Smith after the Dolph. Okay? Oh, it was truck.
It was white.
A white truck? You say truck, you mean like a pickup truck, or do you mean like a big SUV?
It was a big SUV.
Big SUV? Okay. Do you know who the people were in the white SUV with him were?
No, sir.
Okay, what happens when he gets there?
Tell me you outside.
Okay.
Okay. Go outside, get in the car.
You get in the car with him?
Mm-hmm. All right. Quiet. He had 2 bombs.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess he was just putting numbers in the phones and stuff.
He was doing what?
They just like switching the numbers, putting numbers in the phone, another phone.
Okay, so he has 2 phones in front of you, and it looks like he's taking numbers from one and putting it in the other?
Yeah.
Okay, now had y'all talked about a phone or anything before?
Nah.
All right, he was bringing your car. You're in the car. He's got 2 phones. Okay. Before this conversation about bringing you a car and stuff, when was the last time you had talked to him?
Probably like 2 or 3 weeks before that.
Okay. All right, so you meet him in the car, he's got the 2 phones, and he's going back and forth with the numbers. Were you asking what he's doing, or what's going on?
He was just quiet.
Okay. And what are you doing?
I was on my phone.
Okay. So you're sitting there next to him, you're on your phone, he's doing his number stuff. What happens?
He told me he was going to give me the phone for like social media stuff.
Like that he's going to give you one of his 2 phones. Okay. And you said for social media stuff?
Yeah, post some pictures and checking your emails and stuff like that.
All right. Does your brother have social media?
Got Instagram, yeah.
Okay. In fact, you know your brother, does he go by other names too?
Other than his real name? Straight Drop.
Okay. Straight Drop and sometimes just Drop?
Yeah, that's his real name.
Okay. And when you say give it to you for his social media, what do you mean by that?
Kind of like, I don't know, I guess he was just busy and he just needed me to keep up with like the people that was emailing for like these producers, stuff like that.
All right, so let me back up. He gives you his phone because it's the idea that people may be calling or texting or messaging him.
You can say that, but it was just mainly he just told me that he needed me like to post some stuff.
Okay, so he told you at the time that he needed you to use his phone to maybe post some stuff to his social media. Is that right?
Like videos, all this stuff.
Okay. Did you ask him why he couldn't do this himself with his phone?
No.
Okay, but he has this phone in his hand. And he's going to give it to you, and you already have a phone. You don't need a phone.
No, I don't.
The car sounds good. And he wants you to have his phone and maybe post stuff to social media.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You don't ask him why? Does he provide any explanation?
Other than just for the social media stuff.
Okay. He doesn't say why he needs you to do this rather than him?
No, sir.
Does he tell you that he's getting out of town?
No, sir.
Does he tell you that he's got to lay low?
No, sir.
What happens after he gives you the phone?
Somebody was calling him and stuff, like rushing him to come on.
In the car there? So he's getting a phone call from while he's in there?
Yeah.
On one phone or the other, do you remember?
I don't know which one.
Okay. And so does that end y'all's little meeting?
Nah.
Okay. What
He was
happens?
still sitting in the car.
Okay.
Yeah, he was still doing the same thing with the phone.
Still putting numbers back and forth?
I mean, he just had both the phone. I wasn't looking to see what he was doing, but that's what it looked like he was doing.
Okay.
He was looking at both phones.
Once got done putting numbers or whatever he was doing with both phones at the same time, what happened?
Nah, I asked him, was he straight? And he said, yeah. Then they called again. Whoever it was called him again. And he was like, here he comes. So he got out the car. Then he got in the key. I went in the house.
Okay, so he gets out of the car. Did he get in that white SUV with those other people?
Yeah.
Okay, and you go into the house. And now you have a car that he's given you. All right.
Yes, sir.
And you have a telephone that was his.
Yes, sir.
After you get possession of this phone, do people start trying to contact him on this phone?
Yes, sir.
All right, but you have the phone.
Yes, sir.
What happens when somebody contacts him on the phone that you have?
I'll text him and tell him that they called or text.
Okay, so if somebody calls him or texts him and you then text him or call him and say so-and-so just texted or called you, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Were there ever times that somebody would call that phone and then you and your phone would call another phone and put them together so that they could talk?
Yes, sir.
After closing arguments were presented, Straight Drop kept his lips sealed as he declined to take the stand to say his piece.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Johnson, you understand that we're at the part of the trial now where you have a right to testify or not testify on your own behalf?
Yes, sir.
And you and I have discussed this at length, have we not?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that you have the right to testify on your own behalf?
Right. Yes, sir.
And no one can take that away from you. You understand that? You also have a right to not testify, and if you don't want to testify, the judge is going to instruct the jury they can't hold that against you. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Have you thought about it extensively?
Yes, sir.
And we've had several discussions, have we not?
Yes, sir.
And after considering all of that, what do you wish to do?
Not testify.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, how old are you?
26 years old.
How long has Mr. Evans been in the
About 2 years.
About 2 years.
Yes, ma'am.
And he's gone over with you all those things he just talked about.
Yes, ma'am.
About you testifying,
Yes, ma'am.
the pros, and the cons, the good and the bad. Y'all talked about all of those things.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand those things. What's your highest educational level?
High school.
You graduated from high
Yes,
school.
ma'am.
Do you have any questions for him? For your attorney? About this process? About you testifying? You may step down. Any other proof?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else we need to add to the charge?
I was wondering.
How about if I print it for you so y'all can see?
In return, the verdict was in, and Straight Drop was seconds away from knowing his future.
Find the defendant guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder as charged in count 1 of the indictment. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree murder as charged in count 2 of the indictment. And we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of convicted felon in possession of a firearm as charged in count 3 of the indictment.
Thank you.
After the verdict, Young Dolph's sister spoke personally.
On November 17, 2021, our lives changed forever. A son, a father, a brother, a friend, a businessman, a music artist, a philanthropist, and life partner are all among just some of the titles that my brother Adolph Robert Thornton Jr. held. Titles that have now left a missing piece in the lives of so many. I want to say thank you to the jury for their service and decision in this case to bring us one step closer to justice for our family, friends, supporters, and the community that has supported us during this time. Thank you to Judge Mitchell, Shelby County District Attorney's Office, including Paul Hangerman and his team, the MPD, U.S. Marshals, Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, and other investigators and staff that assisted us with this investigation and case, ensuring that those responsible for this crime and involved with this crime have and will be brought to justice for their actions. We realize this act of violence has impacted so many outside of our family and friends. Your outpouring of love and support throughout this process does not go unnoticed. We ask that instead of focusing on those who committed this crime, you focus on the man that Adolph Robert Thornton was. Regardless of the name that you may know him as, such as Adolph, Dolph, or Young Dolph, we ask you to remember the man who enjoyed being a father and spending time with his family. We ask that you remember the man who enjoyed giving opportunities to those who were often overlooked and counted out. We ask that you remember the man who enjoyed giving back to others and being an inspiration to those who come from less than ideal backgrounds, and knowing that they are seen and can change their outcomes and the lives of others by doing something positive. We will continue to heal and keep Adolph's legacy alive. We ask that the public and the media continue to keep our family in their prayers, as well as continue to respect our privacy during this time and the next steps of the judicial process as justice is served for all those involved, for our loved one. Thank you.
Almost immediately after, Straight Drop posted on his Instagram speaking on getting life in prison. These hitters taking criminal responsibility. I'm taking street responsibility. Regardless, I'm forever the biggest. They can throw away the keys before I ever eat the cheese.
Matthew, all this motherfucking, I want you so bad, Hope. Let's do an interview. Let's run that interview. I'm saying it. The grandmama talking down that, fuck the mama, because I had them. Without me, it wouldn't have been them. Let's run it. Let's run it, Hope. Let's go. I ain't said enough for a long time. I stayed out of this shit. But at the end of my bring it. I want you. Let's go live, Hope. Satellite. Whatever you want to do, Hope, we can do this shit. Let's get it. You hear me? I want you. Why you worried about my grandson? What you worried about my grandson for, Hope? You hear me? Don't worry about mine. Bitch. I would call you a little bitty, but you ain't no little bitty. You a big hoe. You hear me? I'm waiting on your ass. Let's burn it, bitch. You hear me? Let's burn it, hoe. I ain't got no record deal. I don't rap. I ain't looking for no ups on nothing. You hear me? Can't get mad by my motherfucking grandson, nigga. Try to put a jacket on my motherfucking grandson back for a shit. The next motherfucking only thing you stupid motherfucker is making this go up. Go, let it go up, baby. That's what we want, that money, baby. Ain't no in this money. We ain't doing no shit like that. Especially against our own. I raised mine better than that, you hear me? Come on, talk to the grandma, bitch. Because if it wasn't for me, they wouldn't be here. Run this shit. Talk to the grandmama. While y'all on Instagram, YouTube, and all that about Young Dolph. He did this, he did that. She ain't did none. You hear me? We don't do shit like that, man. You hear me? Man, for what? For what? Y'all all on Instagram with the talking about he did this, he did that by a goddamn hat. You ignorant mother. When they made one hat, Hope, they ain't stop. They made a lot of hats. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give me a Bash Pro Shop hat, Hope, and put it on while I'm down here. So they make me a target. Huh? Huh? No. I think it's a game. Ain't nobody showing no respect for this man's family. This man's family, they just lost their son, father, uncle, nephew, whatever. This y'all take and just blow it all out of proportion, not thinking and considering the other people's feelings. This man got a whole family out there grieving for him. And y'all won't take social media and run with this shit, man. Where's the motherfucking Lord? Where? Look at my face. I'm human. I've been worried. You know what I'm saying? Because I know my grandson didn't do no shit like that. I've been getting shit all in my mom. But it's one thing for sure, and two things for certain. None of them, I ain't raised them like that. But if you get out of line, yeah, you gonna get dealt with. But that man didn't have nothing to do with my family. My motherfucking grandson didn't have no beef with Young Dolph, nothing. And for y'all to do this y'all doing, man, y'all stop chewing them motherfucking ears. Y'all gonna put a label and jacket on my back for no reason, man. I'm I'm trying, you can't stay safe around this motherfucker. How? When you get all this coming to you, bam, 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 bam. Because see, I know within my heart that my grandson didn't do no shit like that. About a hat, for real? You know how many motherfuckers own a Bass Pro Shop hat? And guess what you stupid motherfuckers did? Made them rich again. They already got money. Guess how many motherfuckers ran out there and bought a Bass Pro Shop hat?
Don't have to, like I said, listen to music to really be touched by what happened. He was a success story when he made it out, but it wasn't only making it out, folks. For those who, you know, again, you may be unaware of his history, his background, something Young Dolph would do is he would purchase homes, and he always said he wanted to give his son a home for his birthday, essentially. So by the time he graduated high school, he wanted his son to have almost 24 homes. So he is essentially pumping money right back into this community by buying those homes and trying to again instill that business mind frame into his children, hoping that would become generational. Vowing his children would never, is how he put it, would never have to live the life that he lived. And that's taking care of his siblings. I think he had 2 brothers, 2 sisters, some of which were incarcerated, unfortunately, early pregnancies, you name it. Something that we hear much too often, something that, you know, is really a reality for a lot of people. And Young Dolph was, and not to try to paint him in this, you know, all glitter and rainbows way, but even though he had a difficult life, he always said, I don't have, that's not me. I don't have to continue living that life. And I want to show my family how that, how we can overcome. I want to show others, especially those who called South Memphis home. We know this was where he was raised. He was raised by those in the community. He always said it once more, the streets were his father. So this was really personal, and this was home. And that's why you would oftentimes see Young Dolph in particular coming back to this area, Castelia Heights in particular, because that is where he was raised by his grandmother, along with, like I said, his siblings.